Hi, guys. Welcome to the very first episode of the Mixtape Podcast. I am grateful and happy you all are here with me today. So, our focus for today is Christian home and family life. And we are also going to be looking partially on parenting. And of course, you know how we do it. We give you all those juicy content for you. So, let's start. Mm. On this episode, we are talking about something that affects all of us. Not just me, not just you seated there, all of us. And of course, regardless of the age, marital status, or background, the Christian home and the family life includes all of us. And we are also going to be talking about parenting and upbringing. We often talk about the challenges our communities, our schools, our workplaces, and churches face. But one thing we sometimes overlook is that the home is the first place where values are learned. You can attest to me that the home is actually the first place where you learn a lot of things. If you want to learn how to be a good Christian child, if you want to learn how to be a good parent, trust me, it starts from the home. Because let's say you grew up in a family where maybe your parents never brought you into the space of Christianity, you knowing God, you knowing Christ. Trust me, there will be no way, it will be very hard for you to come up and be a Christian like that. Oh, most people, in some cases, it's different, but in other cases, it is you following the path that was maybe laid for you by your parents. And also for you coming up to maybe build up your family. Maybe if you grew up in a family where your parents were not that cooperative with each other, maybe your father was beating your mother, maybe there were always arguments and conflicts between your parents. Trust me, that is the idea that you're going to have at the back of your mind, and that is what you are going to grow up with. So, on this episode of the Mixtape Podcast, where we're talking about Christian home, family life, parenting, is just a wake up call for all the amazing people out there. It is also worth noting, amazing people, that the family is the foundation of the society, and the Christians, the home, is meant to be a place where God's love is reflected daily. And so, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, oh, when you're talking about Christian home, we don't know. Maybe we don't know the full definition of what a Christian home is. And I'm going to give you that so that you fully flow with me on this first episode of the Mixtape Podcast. A Christian home is one where Christ is at the center of the everyday life. And it is a place where love, respect, forgiveness, honesty, kindness, and faith are intentionally practiced. I think that for me, I would give kudos to my parents because they brought me up in the right way. I have learned how to be kind. I have learned how to respect people. I have learned how to draw myself closer to God in the midst of every challenge that I face. And I know very well that at the end of the day, God will always show up for you. So my parents brought me up in a way where, yes, I know what is right and from what is wrong. So I have practiced that for almost all my life. That is something that I want my own children to learn from me. So I think that it is a space for you to learn the good things, for you to know when you need to stop, and for you to know when you need to start. So this does not just mean that the home is perfect. Every family experiences disagreements. We have the struggles, we have the challenges, we have the disappointments. But however, what makes a Christian home different is the commitment to seek God's guidance and, of course, to extend grace to one another even in difficult moments. You know, I think that from being in a Christian home, I've learned how to resolve conflict. Me learning how to resolve conflict in the sense that I always, if I am upset with you, it is always very important for me to tell you of how maybe I feel, of how upset I am, or what you did that maybe you did not know it hurt me. So I believe in always settling conflicts amicably so that it doesn't prolong to something that you be just carrying an unnecessary burden in your heart for something that somebody did. So I have learned in a Christian home that we should always learn to resolve our conflicts all the time, and when necessary, we should learn to forgive one another. One of the most important aspects of family is parenting. Very, very important, because two people coming together, a man and a woman coming together to build a family, the aim is to become parents in future. Many of us are aspiring parents, and of course, parenting is one of the greatest responsibilities God entrusted to us as humans. And children are not only to be cared for physically, but also guided spiritually, emotionally, and of course, morally. And the role of a parent goes beyond providing food, shelter, and education. Parents are called to shape character. They are called to teach values and model the kind of life they hope for their children. I've come across a lot of people who had to maybe explain how it was with their parents. Some of them, their parents were never available. Others, their parents never even cared if they had food to eat, if they had clothes to wear. Their parents were very aggressive. Their parents were very strict. Some people never really had that emotional contact with their parents, and that is because like how some people would say it, African parents are so difficult to deal with, because some African parents don't really understand what it is to be there for their children emotionally. But now we are here to cancel all those narratives that people have about parenting. So many people are scared to be parents, but trust me, being a parent can be very, very fulfilling. You knowing that somebody is looking up to you, and somebody is under you, and hoping that you're going to give them those values that they need from you. So we are here talking about parenting today, and of course, children often learn more from what they observe than from what they are told. Oh, so let me share this other story. So I came across a certain lady, and it was a time that I was working on a project about HIV and AIDS, prostitution, and then she shared with me her story, and I was asking, I'm like, oh, okay, why is it that maybe you choose this path? Why is it that you do not do things the way that people are expecting you to do, maybe to be a very outstanding woman in the society? Why do you choose maybe doing prostitution and selling your body out for money? And trust me, she told me her story and telling me that it's something that she watched her mother do. And so she was in that space. It came to a point where when she gets home, her mom is asking her, oh, no money for me today. What did you bring home today? Her mother asking her that kind of question, she felt like, oh, maybe this is the way that I need to go in order to survive. That is the narrative her mother placed in her mind. And I think that children just see what everything that they see, they tend to copy. If you know that you are in a home where maybe you as the father, you're beating your wife all the time. You beat your wife all the time, and then your son is watching, your daughter is watching. It's either that son is going to copy what he saw you do, or your daughter is going to even be scared of even getting into a relationship because she feels like, oh, she's not going to be safe in that way because her mother was not safe like that. And we are trying to eradicate all these ills and all the narratives that people have about marriage and people have about parenting, because it all starts with the home. Once there's a peaceful and God-fearing home, trust me, everything is going to work perfectly. So talking about parenting, we should also note that children tend to watch how their parents settle conflict. I, for one, I cannot say I have ever, since I was born, experienced or seen my father or my mother argue with each other. I have never witnessed it before. Yes, I think that even if they have a problem, they always settle it in their room, or they don't even make us even know about it. So I think that if you grow up in that kind of a setting where your parents are always showing you, oh, the good side of their relationship, trust me, it is going to be a plus for you as a child growing up. This is why parenting is not just about instructions, it is also about you bringing understanding into it, you understanding what it is like to be a parent, you teaching your child how forgiveness works, you teaching your child how to pray, you teaching your child the basic things of life. And of course, above all, God should be at the center of everything that you teach your child. And today, families are raising children in a world filled with distractions, social media influences, we have peer pressure, we have rapid change in values, and many parents are trying to balance work, they are trying to balance family responsibilities, they are trying to balance personal growth and spiritual commitment. All these, they are packaging all this at once. And I would say parents are doing well, but I think that there is more effort that needs to be put on the side of the parents. Let's look at the situations that we have now, especially in a Cameroon setting where we have a lot of missing children. I'm not saying that there is a neglect on the side of the parents. It could be, but I think that parents need to be more vigilant when it comes to their children. You see this aspect of taking your children to school, picking them up from school, and even the people that you leave your children under their care. Yes, like nannies. I came across a story where a nanny was put to take care of a 2-year-old girl, yeah. And so because the child was refusing to sleep, she did not want to sleep in the afternoon. The nanny went up to the extent of rubbing something in the child's eye. I cannot really remember what she applied on the child's eyes, but unfortunately, the child became blind. So those are things that we can actually prevent. I'm not saying that we should not have nannies, because nannies are there to help ease the work for us, especially us as mothers. But we should be very, very careful with the people that we bring into our homes to help us at the end of the day. And because of this, intentional parenting has never been more important. We need to sit up as parents so that we can reduce the rate of missing children that we have. Every day you come up on social media, you see, oh, this child left the house since 2 days ago, the child is nowhere to be found, different disturbing cases of rape. I think that even at the comfort of our homes, our children are not safe. And that is why we need to be physically, emotionally, mentally present for our kids. So that in situations where maybe there are cases of rape, our children will be very free to open up, to share those experiences, those hard experiences that they have had, maybe when you as a parent, you were absent. And I'll share with you this other story that has to do with the connection that parents have with their children. What I'm saying is very, very important, because if you are that parent that doesn't communicate with your child, trust me, it's going to be a big problem in future. Because in a case where there is something happened to your child, that child will not feel the need to come and tell you that, oh, mommy, oh, daddy, this uncle did this to me, this is what happened to me. So I think that we should create a scenario where it is soft. Even though we are trying to discipline our kids, but we should try to create that soft scenario so that our children rather would be able to communicate with us. So what happened was, this girl, her parents are not together. So she left her where she was staying with her mom, and she wanted to go and visit her dad. So she did. And when she went there, oh, he's my father. So the man told her that, okay, wait for me in the hotel, my hotel, I'm coming. So when the man got back, she did not expect that, oh, my father will violate me, my father is going to rape me. She did not even have that at the back of her mind. But that happened, and it's a sad thing. And why am I talking about communication between you and your child? After that child left that place, she is a very hyperactive girl. She's always very, very active, always very happy, and she gets back to her mother's home and she is enclosed. She doesn't talk to people anymore as she used to. She doesn't play. She doesn't mingle with people anymore. And the mother did not even notice that, oh, there is something wrong with this child. It is somebody outside who actually noticed that, oh, what is happening? Why is she not the way she used to be? And then she decided, she took upon herself to talk to this little girl, and this little girl just started crying and told her everything that happened. And that is when that outsider was going to explain things to this child's mother. So I think that this is something that we need to work on: communication, understanding. Parents should not just force things on their children. They should try to understand. And you know that we live in an era where children are very, very inquisitive. So we need to work on all of that. And above all, we should communicate with our kids. All right. I'm sure a lot of you are like, oh, is she saying that parents should only focus on their kids? No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. Is she saying that parents should not work? No, that's not what I'm saying. Is she saying that we should not have nannies at the comfort of our homes? No. What I'm saying is, as parents, we should be very vigilant. Yes, we know that we are in the social media era. We know that parents nowadays, even because they want to keep their children distracted, they buy them the iPads, they give them the phones to play the games. There are different things that they want to use to distract these children. But we need to be very, very careful with the kind of content that we allow our children to consume. Even when watching television, yes, even the cartoons nowadays have very disturbing things that go on in the cartoons. Yes, they practice a lot of things which are questionable. So as parents, I am just here to give us like a wake-up call that there are things that we have been ignoring or we have been taking very lightly, but we need to sit up so that our children can be protected mentally, emotionally, and otherwise. So that we should not sit at the background and say, oh, had I known, I could have saved my child from this. So that we can prevent ourselves from these reoccurrences of disturbing happenings nowadays. So, families need moments of connection. I have been saying this since we started this episode. We need to have that connection. You as a parent need to have that connection with your child. I think that is something that is lacking in most homes, and we need to sit up as far as that is concerned. They need that meaningful conversation. Yes, I should be able to sit now and say, okay, I want to have this conversation with my father. But you know, the way African fathers are, it is sometimes very difficult to bring up a conversation, maybe to share with them that, oh, daddy, I have a boyfriend now. Ha. Do you want to try that? You know very well that at the end of the day, maybe a spank is going to follow, and you even feel scared. How did it first of all start that you want to start? You sit beside your dad and tell your dad that, oh, daddy, I want to share something with you. I have a boyfriend now, and this and that. I think that our parents need to be giving us that space, so that we'll be able to share with them what is going on in our lives and what is happening with us. And they need opportunities to pray together, to learn together, and to support one another. One thing I picked for my home growing up was praying together. Every single night we had devotions from Mondays till Sunday. We had devotions, and we had a devotion time, and that devotion time was always respected. And you know, if you pray after the devotion time, just know that that is coming for you at the end of the day. So we were always very set. When it's towards 9 p.m., we know that, oh yes, it's getting towards devotion time, so I need to gather everybody. Let us set and let us have a time together to pray. That was one thing I picked growing up, and we are still doing that up till now. We pray as a family before we want to go to bed. And of course, let's also look at the responsibilities parents have towards their children. A lot of parents tend to neglect what their children need. They just feel like, oh, the fact that I sent her to a good school, I sent him to a good school, that is all. That is okay. But I have been thinking here that it is much more than just providing financially. They need a lot of guidance when it comes to the children. The child needs a lot of guidance, and nobody can give them the guidance and the support they need rather than their parents. And every member of the family has a role to play. Children are called to honor and respect their parents. Siblings are called to support one another, and extended family members can provide encouragement, wisdom, and stability. Oh, let's talk about the extended family. Since we're talking about Christian home family life, the extended family, there are some extended families that some people don't want to mingle with. Trust me. If I have just my father, I have my brother, my siblings, it's okay. All the aunties and the uncles. And there's also a saying that those from the aunties and uncles from the father side are always very, very troublesome. Is that true? Maybe you want to share with me your experiences that you have, especially with your uncles and your aunties from your father's side. Oh, for me, I will share mine. Mine, if I'm supposed to compare the two, I don't want to take sides, but yeah, I have always been very fond of my aunties and uncles from my mother's side. I don't know, I just have the connection with them. Not just because people have the narrative that the aunties and the uncles on their father's side are very dramatic and they like trouble, but let's leave that for another day. That's another conversation for another day. But maybe you want to share with us in the comment section how it's working for you when it comes to the relationships that you have, maybe your extended family. Some people don't just like their aunties and uncles at all from their father's side. Some people prefer their mother's side. Others, it can be that the case can be reversed. Some might prefer their aunties and uncles from their mother's side or from their father's side. Whatever you prefer, then if it works for you, then that is fine. A healthy family environment is built when everyone contributes to creating a culture of love, respect, and understanding. Even in the midst of conflict, you can have a misunderstanding with your sister, you have that with your brother, you even have misunderstandings with your parents. Yes, there are times that you will not see eye to eye. Oh. There are times that you will not agree. Maybe you want this thing and then your parents want something else for you. Maybe you feel like your parents are choking you at the comfort of your home. Yes, those misunderstandings will come, but in the midst of settling all those misunderstandings, there should be love, there should be respect, and understanding. Those three things should help you guide yourselves in that relationship. Yes, you're in a relationship with your family. I hope you know that. So if you have the love, if you have the respect, and if you, of course, if you embody all that with understanding, trust me, it's going to go a long way to help you. And what matters is the willingness to grow, to forgive, to communicate, and of course, to keep Christ at the center of family life. Yes, let Christ be at the center of every home. And I'm sure, yeah, there are some people who say, oh, we are not a Christian family like that. We don't pray like that. It's okay, it's fine, but you should have something that is grounding you and holding you together as a family. But for me, I think it is Christ. Christ is always there at the center of the home. There are a lot of things that we underlook. There are a lot of things that happen within the family that is we are being saved just because we have Christ at the center of our homes. And of course, strong families are built one day at a time. You cannot just sit like that and you build a family now like that. No, it's not possible. I cannot just be sitting here and say, okay, I have already built my family that I want to have in the next 5 years. Yes, you can start planning, but it takes a lot to manage a family. So you need to start one day at a time in order to build a family. And they are built through consistency, acts of love, intentional conversations, shared faith, patience, sacrifices, and of course, grace. And whether you are a parent, a future parent, a sibling, or simply someone who cares about family values, you have the ability to contribute to building strong homes and, of course, strong communities and amazing people. Yes. Before I end this session of this first episode of our podcast, I'll share with you one experience I had too before growing up. So, in the comfort of our home, yes, and that's why I spoke about. I think I spoke about strict parents and all that. Maybe the way that your dad or your mom was showing love to you. Maybe that's not how you wanted it to be. Maybe the way they portrayed love to you, you term it as being strict. And I think that in other homes, in some homes, you have the father is the soft one. A lot of people want to be beside their father, and in some homes you see the mother is the hard one. In other homes the reverse is the case. Yes, in my home, anyway, in my home I would say there was some time I was scared of my dad. I'm like, this man is so strict. This man is so strict. I was always very scared when I get the car or the him just holding for us to open the gate. I was always very scared, and I always want to run because I'm like, daddy has come, and maybe something is going to happen and all. But as I was growing up, I understood that it was not just him making us being scared. It was just an act of discipline, trying to make us to know what to do at what time. And I was always very, very clingy to my mom. But I also learned that, my dad was just trying to make us to be disciplined. And that is what I carry with me as I have grown up. And I think that is what I also want to instill in my children. I'm not going to be a strict parent, though. I'm going to be a jolly, jolly mother, so that my daughter will come and sit right next to me and say, Mommy, I want to share this with you. Mommy, I had this experience in school. Mommy, this and that. Yeah, so that we can have those conversations and we can also have that connection. I think that is what I'm going to do with my daughter. I will discipline her, yes. But I'm also going to be a jolly mother, so that at the end of the day, we'll be able to bond as mother and daughter. I'm also going to have that jolly relationship with my son. Yes, so that we should have that connection, and he should be able to show me that, okay, mommy, I have a girlfriend, and yes, that's the girl I'm dating now. So at least I should know what my son is doing now. So at the end of the day, we should have those connections and we should have those bonds. Thank you all so very much for joining us on this very first episode of the Mixtape Podcast. I hope that our conversations today have encouraged you and helped you in one way or another. Until next time, yes, don't forget that you can drop all your reactions in the comment section below. Tell us about what you think about what we discussed today on Christian Home, Family Life, and Parenting. And this is not the last episode or the last conversation that we are going to have on this topic. Yes, we are going to be talking about this subsequently. And of course, we are coming right for you. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to the mixtape. Don't forget to like and of course to press on the notification button. See you. God bless you. Ciao, ciao.